So today we're going to flatten this piece of cherry, this live edge slab. The first thing I need to do to get it perfectly flat size, determine which one I'm going to do first. I prefer to put my cup side down to try to get it to sit as stable on my table as possible. See, that side doesn't rock, the other side was moving around on me, so I can be fairly certain that this is going to stay in place. For doing a book match table, it's really important to flatten these first. If I just send it through a planer, the in-feed and out-feed rollers will push it down flat, clean off all the saw marks, and when it comes out, it'll go back to its twist, cup, or warp, whatever it's got. By doing this, I give myself one perfectly flat side. We face that down. The rollers can't push down on it, and we'll flip it back and forth until we have a perfect flat table. So right now on this first pass, I'm just looking to knock down my high points. So I don't want to do it all, try to do it all in one pass, because I may end up taking out too much. So my first pass, since this sits just a touch above my rails, I'll take out this high spot right down the center. That'll allow everything to drop down. Then I can start clearing it. Usually it takes 3 to 4 passes. You can see now I'm only taking out the high point, and what I'll do is keep creeping up because I want to keep as thick as possible. That's why I'll do light passes and slowly bring my router down. It also puts less stress on the router itself. On this first pass, I knew my high point was above my rail, so my sled is actually riding on the wood, creating these deep gouges. So this is really uneven. And you can see where the wood came down, and here it's not riding on it, so that's a lot smoother. So what I'll do, leaving everything at this exact same height, now I know none of this is going to touch shouldn't touch my sled, so I can come back through here, clear that, and then I can set my depth a little bit lower and start clearing it again. Now that I've got my high point on this side, normally I like to leave it exactly how it is and do the entire side, but I'm noticing as I'm removing material, this side is picking up. I've got enough of a flat side that if I flip this over, it should rest on here, and I can hit this side, which is my face, my book match to the other one anyway. So hopefully this sits nice and flat, and I won't have to use hardly any shims. Yeah, there we go. That's better. Yeah, see, now it's nice and stable, it's not moving. For a first pass, this is really good. It's exactly what I kind of expected. Really, theoretically, at this point, I could send this out to get finished, flattened, and sanded, because these two sides are perfectly flat. Those rollers won't push that out, but I like to get a little bit more of it cleared. I was a little nervous about this where a branch was coming out. I didn't want to pull it out, so I'll probably try to get it down just a touch more. But I'm starting to see a little bit of the figure. I want to leave it a little bit because I get tear out here in this cherry. So when it goes through the wide belt sander, it'll get all that out and be perfect. So do one more pass and get it closer. So at this point, this is far enough to send off to the wide belt sander. I know I could go a little bit further, but I'm noticing on this cherry that I'm getting a lot of tear out in here. And if I go ahead and clear this one, I'm going to be putting more tear out in it. Right now, the deepest part of that tear out is going to be almost the deepest part here. So on that wide belt sander, which won't give us any tear out, we can send it through and not lose any thickness. That way I keep the thickest possible piece out of this. And we'll do the same thing. This side this is the book match. This side is also already almost done. So we'll send them out at the same time. They'll come back exactly the same thickness. I'll cut my edge, join them together, and it'll start looking like a dining room table.